Why, good afternoon and evening, depending on when you watch it. Hello, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a beautiful day thus far, and I appreciate your flexibility with the early Satsang today. Lots of happenings and events and things going on that I got to attend to. So we're moving up our usually evening late night satsang to a more palatable hour for those East Coasters over there. So I just want to say, get those last few wiggles out, shake things up just to kind of get some of that energy loose. Now, one of these aspects of self-realization to self-mastery is this aspect of learning to assimilate this knowing with the real life everyday experience. So when we can transform our resistance into a compassionate acceptance, it allows us to really open up fully to this divine flow that is life. Now, the most important thing to think about is that when things go good in our experience, we love it. It's always that harmonious bliss, that ecstatic enamor of the human experience. But when things are, you could say, stemming from more of the negative, when things don't go as our assumptions and our expectations arise, they disturb us. They cause us to close off to that effortless expression of what is. So, the most important thing to remind yourself with our meditation this evening is to remember that everything truly is divine timing. Everything is grace. Everything has brought you to the point of realization and recognition that you currently have. And everything will continue to arise to keep you on this path of inner unfoldment so that you may fully bring out the fullness of this experience, so you can truly live in that pureness of your very being, so that you can transcend suffering, turn your suffering into strength, that pain into power. And most importantly, that you can live love, you can live as yourself effortlessly and fully at all times. So, with that, I lovingly invite you into the space of the heart. When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, allow yourself to take a long and deep inhale with each sound of the bowl as it rings. And with your exhale, transform that into a powerful and mighty Om, this divine chord, that AUM, allowing yourself to relax the jaw. Like a sigh of relief, that A will resonate from the chest, and as you lower the jaw and close the mouth, the U and the M will form naturally. Here, shift your attention to the silence after your own voice, after you hear mine sing as well. And focus on the 4th note to this trinity of vocalization, the silence. It's here we let go of the stresses of the day, the happenings, what we need to do later on. And we give our full attention and focus to this moment called the now, the only snapshot of your experience in which you truly live. No matter what has happened today, yesterday, or the angst and worries and assumptions in the future to come, again, give the reverence of your experience in this eternal now your full focus and attention. By simply allowing everything to unfold within your experience without resistance, this effortless inner looking of both the external and the internal worlds. When you hear this final tap of the singing bowl, shift your full attention to the sound of the ringing as it fades into silence. So too, allow yourself to watch the dust settle within, knowing that you are not the mind, nor the emotions, nor the sensations, but you are the perceiver, the witness to all. Lay back within that cinema of your inner experience and observe the internal world and the external worlds, one and the same. Ultimately, what stops us from living effortlessly in this divine flow, that pure state of existing and being simultaneously, is the assumptions we hold not only over our own experience, but the actions of others and the assumptions we hold against life itself. For naturally, we have this innate knowing of our divinity, and it becomes misconstrued and hijacked by the ego, the conditioned self, the physical and temporary existence in which we live as spirit embodied in our current reincarnation. It's important here to recognize that this path of self-mastery is one of acceptance, one of compassionate acceptance. Note that the words surrender, the combination of letting go, such things are not used. For one must lovingly embrace every aspect of this experience. For when we come to recognize what is, we cannot refuse to see the divine play in which we know exist. Self-mastery itself is one stemming from the path of self-realization. As previously mentioned, the infinity loop is one that naturally forms, for these are two sides of the same coin. When we refuse to embrace and assimilate these knowings from that realization and recognition, we stunt our own opportunity and growth of becoming masters of the self, masters over your own window of awareness in this human experience. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up the belly, the chest, as much as you can. Pump the body up with all the prana and chi you're able to. And release all such tensions with a sigh of relief. Take one more breath in such fashion. And again, release. With this final inhale, breathe in as much air and chi and prana as you can. And when the body feels like it's full, again, squeeze in a few more breaths. And from here, hold this vessel with that love and light so it may marinate and seep into every cell. And when the body is ready, release the breath, but pay it no attention. We can see the subtleties of this divine flow in the basic operation of this physical form. Life just operates on its own. So too, we must come to see that this fluid motion, the ebb and flow of existence, is one conscious ocean of love. Even if you choose to not participate in life, it will still keep moving. When the body drops away, life keeps on moving. The nature of this flow is coming to understand that you are the flow itself. So when you resist, when you assume, you hold yourself back from fully harnessing the divine waters that are always rushing through you. Hence the importance of compassion and acceptance. For if you truly love yourself, you must willingly and lovingly embrace everything that is arising. And thus, through this acceptance, you very much so turn into that swimmer floating on their back, allowing the tide, allowing the ocean to take you away. That is the paradox of spirituality, for it is not as much of a doing and an efforting, but rather a being. But to get into that position, just as floating on the back, you must cease the conscious action in which you are doing. You must allow yourself to open up, to spread out, and to allow life in this ocean of consciousness and love to embrace you fully. Only then can you transform that floating on the back into a sailboat, and you can then sail by the heart. But you must remember here ultimately and forever that you are life itself. It is always pushing for your success and your growth, but as the human experience will unfold and show us, we don't always get what we want. For it's those desires that serve the lesser vibrations, the egoic temporary conditionings, for the realm of the heart operates in one of aspiration and hope. If you cannot find the distinction and difference between the two, look within. Does your desire serve the temporary self, or does your aspiration serve the greater whole? Does your desire and want and yearning come at the expense of another, or does your aspiration seek to not only transform yourself, but those around you through the very concepts of sovereignty and free will? When we finally listen to the signs, the patterns that life continues to throw in our path, it's as if we finally take the exit and come back home, rather than going in a continual roundabout, ignoring every sign, every signal, every experience that life is showing us to remove ourselves from the current situation. If you want a child to walk, do you constantly hold their hands? Or do you allow them to fall on their own until they can achieve their first steps? Here you can see the situational experience. If you don't allow yourself to fall, will you ever learn to walk? If you don't allow others to make their own mistakes, will they ever learn and grow? This is the importance of free will. Your life, your experience is the only one you have a right to influence and control through your aspirations. Do not allow yourself to be conflicted or conflated. In truth, your actions will inspire others, but it is not by force. It is through the recognition and appreciation for the light you shine, for the gift that you are. So be that light to the world. Everything within your experience is guiding you and crafting you towards this inner looking, this unfoldment for your self realization and ultimately your self mastery. But how much are you resisting what life is presenting you? Are you capitalizing on the opportunities that life has thrown in your lap? Or are you still in the phase of life having to slap you across the face before you finally hear its call? It is not one's position to judge nor assume, for we are all at our current realm of understanding and placement in this exploration of self. But you must honestly look at yourself and be accountable. You must look within your own heart and finally determine what your true position is in this play. And if you are unsure, then figure it out. If you are fed up with a situation, exit it. The only one holding yourself to the fires and coals of suffering and pain is your own beingness and unwillingness to compassionately accept what life has presented you. Self-awareness, self-realization, self-mastery. Words are words, but you must apply the depths of their meaning into your own experience for you to fully understand them for what they are. So allow yourself to forgive not only others, but yourself. Allow your beingness to accept that in which it resists. Step through the shadows of fear and death and enter into the eternal love and joy and bliss and jubilation that is our true beingness, that pureness of the One. Know that you are that divine light and that life itself is cheering for your success. But you must be your own advocate, for spirit cannot will you into action. It can only suggest. It can only give you those gentle reminders, whether it be through the animal kingdom, the synchronicities in which we see, or the flat out, quote unquote, random, coincidental moments that in truth are just the subtle expressions, the magic that this divine play is. You are the Eternal One. In this image and play of itself, this matrix of love and light, come to recognize your window of awareness is directly tapped into the Creator. So when you close off your life force, you close off yourself from these divine powers that are your birthright to master and to apply. So you too can be that God and goddess of creation and manifestation as intended in this experience. So take the reins over your own heart. Let go of the mind and compassionately accept all that life is presenting you so you may come back into that harmonious state of pure being. You are the light of love. You are life itself. So stop resisting it. Embrace all experience and know that all is grace. It doesn't matter what the mind and the imagination seek to run off with. You wouldn't be you without it. We must not come to theorize and hope and wish what life could have been. We must humbly and compassionately accept what life is currently. And if there is a dissatisfaction, an unsavory taste, then use your ability to manifest, to bring these highest aspirations to fruition, to awaken to your power, to apply your knowledge with the everyday actions to assimilate it into your being and transform these lessons into the wisdom. Such is applied knowledge. Most importantly, you must come back to that knowing of your uniqueness and that your dance is just your own. And although we may overlap and there are many parallels in this journey, you are you. It is your divine right to be the gift you are. So compassionately accept everything about yourself. It matters not if it's good or bad quality, a destructive or a constructive habit or characteristic. It is your opportunity and position to transform and transmute everything within your experience, for it's the only one you can control. And when you let go of the arms of self-sabotage and you stop with the assumptions and judgments, life will open up. Life will gift you. Life will reward you, but you must be courageous and accept what is. Know that everything in this physical realm, in this human experience, is temporary. So too will your sufferings be. So too is the pain. Everything is crafting you and pushing you towards letting go of the assumptions, compassionately accepting what is, and ultimately harnessing this divine flow that all is. Take a deep breath here, with a big smile on your face if you don't already have one. And when the body is filled with air again, draw in a few more breaths. Effortlessly release through the nose. One more breath. Deep inhalation, filling the gut, then the chest, then as much as you can. And again, releasing through the nose. One final breath together, taking a deep inhale here. And again, releasing through the nose. When you hear this next tap of the singing bowl, shift your attention to your own beingness, that observer, that witness. Bring back that conscious focus of just accepting what is. No assumptions, no expectations, no judgments. And allow this energy and light of pure witnessing to overflow into every aspect and facet of your existence. Release the body of breath from here with a big exhale. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Ooh. Thanks, DMD. Been a minute, bro. Hope you're doing well. Oh, and that's the beauty of the flow itself, is the more you practice, the easier it flows. And that practice is, again, that floating on the back, allowing yourself to just be carried away. Now, if you're looking for a practical exercise into harnessing your flow, look within the heart. What is it that you like to do? What creative expression do you enjoy the most? What collection of creative expressions do you like to dabble in? It matters not. One of the ones that has enabled me to tap into this effortlessness of being has literally just been doing these little satsangs and allowing the insights and knowing from just the highest self to flow, taking a step back and just allowing what comes up, not entertaining the mind's thoughts, but being more entertained by the experience of the now. Another one has been freestyling. I travel for a lot of work. I'm in a work fit right now. So it's been really just the commuting time between clients. I'll put on some instrumentals and just letting what comes out comes out. And then learning how to adjust it. It's that sail of the heart. You can very much see it like windsurfing or paragliding, parasailing, skydiving, whatever it is, whatever parachute works for you. But it's this knowing where you can combine your imagination with that effortless expression. You have that intention of the heart and mind in union, and then things express themselves, but they're not predetermining the information or expression itself. It's just allowing things to be. Again, we're creatures of habit. That is one of the things we learn in this human experience. So we have to recognize that the more we channel energy into something, the more inertia it gains. And the faster that wheel spins, the less all the other things will be able to slow it down or stop it. So look within your own experience and come to determine something that puts you into that state of just effortless being. It could be running, it could be swimming, it could be cleaning, doing math. It doesn't matter. Everyone's different. But that's the beauty of it. Your unique expression and modality to experience and practice is going to be unique to you. And just like any other muscle, the more you flex it and work it out and exercise it, the stronger it's going to get. And the whole point of self-realization is to bring yourself to that position of self-mastery, to assimilate these recognitions, this knowledge into applicable action. And in turn, through this experiment of applying these lessons and learnings, we could say, we come to that realm of self-mastery. That assimilation transforms that knowledge into wisdom. Yes, I love that, DMD. Create art and music, meditate and exercise, and love. Love is the most powerful one. That compassion and acceptance. Loving someone even when they're being nasty, because you know what's really behind it all. The most important aspect of self mastery, and we're going to be diving into that more Sunday, is just really living what you know. That compassion and acceptance is what enables us to fully allow that to arise. And if we have to remind ourselves, as I encourage my students, if you have to write it on your hand, put it on a sticky note, make an alarm on your phone, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you need to do to always bring yourself back to the recognitions you've experienced. So the temporary states and happenings can't distract you, seemingly take you away from these divine knowing. So, with that, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed. And in that seed may our love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. Thanks for tapping in, bro. And I'll see y'all Sunday. Take care. Have a great rest of your day and night. And most importantly, let someone you know you love them. Peace. Thank you, dude.